not much time will be gained, O Athenians, in return for the evil name, which you will get from the detractors of the city, who will say that you killed Socrates, a wise man, for they will call me wise, even although I am not wise, when they want to reproach you. If you had waited a little while, your desire would have been fulfilled in the course of nature, for I am far advanced in years, as you may perceive, and not far from death. I am speaking now only to those of you who have condemned me to death. And I have another thing to say to them. You think that I was convicted through deficiency of words. I mean, that if I had thought fit to leave nothing undone, nothing unsaid, I might have gained an acquittal. Not so. The deficiency which led to my conviction was not of words, certainly not. But I had not my boldness or impudence or inclination to address you as you would have liked me to address you, weeping and wailing and lamenting, and saying and doing many things which you have been accustomed to hear from others, and which, as I say, are unworthy of me. But I thought that I ought not to do anything common or mean in the hour of danger, nor do I now repent of the manner of my defense. And I would rather die, having spoken after my manner, than speak in your manner and live. For neither in war, not yet at law, ought any man to use every way of escaping death. For often in battle there is no doubt that if a man will throw away his arms, and fall on his knees before his pursuers, he may escape death. And in other dangers there are other ways of escaping death. If a man is willing to say and do anything, the difficulty, my friends, is not in avoiding death, but in avoiding unrighteousness, for that runs faster than death. I am old and move slowly, and the slower runner has overtaken me, and my accusers are keen and quick, and the faster runner, who is unrighteousness, has overtaken them. And I depart, hence condemned by you to suffer the penalty of death, and they too go their ways, condemned by the truth, to suffer the penalty of villainy and wrong, and I must abide by my award. Let them abide by theirs. I suppose that these things may be regarded as fated, and I think that they are well.
And now, O men who have condemned me, I would fain prophesy to you, for I am about to die. And this is the hour in which men are gifted with prophetic power. And I prophesy to you who are my murderers, that immediately after my death punishment, far heavier than you have inflicted on me, will surely await you. Me you have killed, because you wanted to escape the accuser and not give an account of your lives. But that will not be as you suppose, far otherwise. For I say that there will be more accusers of you than there are now. Accusers whom hitherto I have restrained, and as they are younger, they will be more severe with you, and you will be more offended at them. For if you think that by killing men you can avoid the accuser censuring your lives, you are mistaken. That is not a way of escape, which is either possible or honorable. The easiest and the noblest way is not to be crushing others, but to be improving yourselves. This is the prophecy which I uttered before my departure to the judges who have condemned me.
Friends who have acquitted me, I would like to talk with you about this thing which has happened while the magistrates are busy and before I go to the place at which I must die. Stay then a while, for we may as well talk with one another while there is time. You are my friends, and I should like to show you the meaning of this event which has happened to me. O my judges, for you I may truly call judges, I should like to tell you of the wonderful circumstance. Hitherto the familiar oracle within me has constantly been in the habit of opposing me even about trifles, if I was going to make a slip or error about anything, and now, as you see, there has come upon me that which may be thought, and is generally believed to be, the last and worst evil. But the oracle made no sign of opposition, either as I was leaving my house and going out in the morning, or when I was going up into this court, or while I was speaking at anything which I was going to say. And yet I have often been stopped in the middle of a speech, and now in nothing I either said or did touching this matter has the oracle opposed me. What I do take to be the explanation of this, I will tell you. I regard this as a proof that what has happened to me is a good, and that those of us who think that death is an evil are in error. This is a great proof to me of what I am saying, for the customary sign would surely have opposed me had I been going to evil and not to good.
Let us reflect in another way, and we shall see that there is a great reason to hope that death is a good. For one of two things, either death is a state of nothingness and utter unconsciousness, or, as men say, there is a change and migration of the soul from this world to another. Now if you suppose that there is no consciousness, but a sleep like the sleep of him who is undisturbed, even by the sight of dreams, death will be an unspeakable gain. For if a person were to select the night in which his sleep was undisturbed, even by dreams, and were to compare with this the other days and nights of his life, and then were to tell us how many days and nights he had passed in the course of his life better and more pleasantly than this one, I think that any man, I will not say a private man, but even the great king, will not find much such days or nights when compared with the others. Now if death is like this, I say is that to die is gain, for eternity is then other a single night. But if death is the journey to another place, and there, as men say, all the dead are, what good, O my friends and judges, can be greater than this? If indeed, when the pilgrim arrives in the world below, he is delivered from the professors of justice in this world, and finds the true judges who are said to give judgment there, Minos and Rhodananthus, Aechus and Triptolemus, and other sons of God who were righteous in their own life, that pilgrimage will be worth making. What would not give a man if he might converse with Orpheus and Messias and Hesiod and Homer? Nay, if this be true, let me die again and again. I too shall have a wonderful interest in a place where I can converse with Palamedes and Ajax, the son of Telamon, and other heroes of old who have suffered death through an unjust judgment. And there will be no small pleasure, as I think, in comparing my own sufferings with theirs. Above all, I shall be able to continue my search into true and false knowledge, as in this world, so also in that, I shall find out who is wise, and who pretends to be wise, and who is not. What would not a man give, O judges, to be able to examine the leader of the great Trojan expedition? Or Odysseus, or Sisyphus, or numberless others, men and women too. What infinite delight would there be in conversing with them and asking them questions? For in that world they do not put a man to death for this, certainly not. For besides being happier in that world than in this, they will be immortal, if what is said is true.
Wherefore, O judges, be of good cheer about death, and know this of a truth, that no evil can happen to a good man, either in life, after death. He and his are not neglected by the gods, nor has my own approaching end happened by mere chance. But I see clearly that to die and be released was better for me, and therefore the oracle gave no sign, for which reason also I am not angry with my accusers or my condemners. They have done me no harm. Neither of them meant to do me any good, and for this I may gently blame them.
Still I have a favor to ask of them. When my sons are grown up, I would ask you, O my friends, to punish them, and I would have you trouble them as I have troubled you. If they seem to care about riches, or anything more than about virtue, or if they pretend to be something when they really are nothing, then reprove them, as I have reproved you, for not caring about that for which they ought to care, and thinking that they are something when they are really nothing. And if you do this, I and my sons will have received justice at your hands. The hour of departure has arrived, and we go our ways, I to die, and you to live. Which is better, God only knows.